As far as social media goes, I'm not great at posting stuff. I'm trying to get better, but generally I find myself just scrolling through other people's posts. I don't use Facebook at all. I rarely look at Twitter and only post about new episodes there. I don't look at TikTok and I'm trying to get better about posting stuff there. I look at Threads occasionally. I would say that most of my social media viewing is done on Instagram. I've become somewhat fascinated by some of the advertisements I see there. I've seen some that are really funny, but otherwise I've noticed how many ads there are for cheap gadgets. Most of the ads seem like scams, but I just couldn't stop myself from buying 10 gadgets from Instagram ads, all under $40. Now, I was fully expecting to not actually receive some of these items, and I was pleasantly surprised to receive 9 out of 10 items I ordered. Aside from these ads being scams in a way that the item you get is not as described, it's not uncommon for the seller to take your money and not even send you anything. The item I didn't receive is the Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo. Now this actually looks like a pretty cool video camera, but the price in the ad was $34.50 American, marked down from $999.89. That is the very definition of too good to be true. I've seen this camera being legitimately sold online other places for upwards of $1,200 American, so I was very skeptical about the $35 price tag. And it seems I was right. I actually paid extra for expedited shipping, meaning it would be shipped within 48 hours. After 2 weeks with no word from the company, I sent them an email asking for a status. After not hearing back from them for more than a day, I initiated the charge as fraud. A few days later, I ended up receiving a response to my email that said that due to high demand, they were running behind, but my item would ship soon. That was about 2 weeks ago, and I've since heard nothing. One of the common signs that a social media ad is a scam is that the item for sale is listed for an unbelievably small amount compared to what it normally sells for. The next item I ordered was Focus, the Smart Productivity Timer. The first time I saw this ad, I was thoroughly confused. I wasn't quite sure what was special about the device. What exactly helps your productivity? Basically, the guy in the ad sets a timer to force himself to work for 23 minutes and 10 seconds. I get that there are people that may find setting a goal helpful, but there's a timer on your computer, your phone, your watch. What makes the Focus different from those things? I decided to find out. It turns out the answer to that question is, nothing. There's nothing special about this timer. There's nothing about it that makes it work better for setting a work goal. As a matter of fact, it isn't even a good product as just a timer. It's light and flimsy. The mechanism that turns to set the time isn't smooth, so it's actually kind of a pain in the ass. Then, sometimes when you try to set the time moves in increments of minutes, and other times it moves in increments of 5 seconds, and I have no idea why. I don't know why the increments change when setting the time. I haven't been able to make it change, it just seems to change on its own. This cheap piece of plastic was €27.95 with free shipping. I don't know if there is a legitimate Focus brand timer that works better than this and this is just a knockoff, but whatever I got is a piece of hot garbage. Item number 3 is something that I was actually pretty excited to get as it's something I could use if it turned out to be a decent product. The Magic Pop mic is a wireless lav mic. It has a receiver that you plug into your smartphone and 2 mics that can pair to the receiver at the same time. You clip the mics on and record audio wirelessly to your phone. Now, I didn't pay attention and I accidentally ordered the set that plugs into a phone with an Apple Lightning connector. I have an iPhone 15 which uses a USB-C, but my old phone has a Lightning port, so I can just as easily use that. My first reaction is that the parts feel really light and flimsy. It feels like everything is hollow. I got everything charged and plugged the receiver into my phone. I turned on one of the mics and the solid green light is supposed to indicate that the mic and the receiver are paired. Then the instructions say you can record onto your phone. It's a little vague. I tried recording with the voice memo app and it didn't work. I tried recording a video and it also didn't work. All of the audio is still coming from the phone's built-in mic. There's no app to download, and the instructions don't specify what app you're supposed to use to record audio. There's only one instructional video that mentions using the camera to record a video, which is supposed to get audio from the mic, but it doesn't work for me. After quite some time of messing with it, trying to get it to work, watching a number of equally vague instructional videos, I gave up. As far as I can tell, it doesn't work. It was €37.95 with free shipping. As far as I can tell, this is a genuine product, as Magic Pop has emailed me multiple times asking me to become an affiliate to promote their product. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen, guys. Sorry. The next item I ordered was specifically because I'm going to be flying back home at the beginning of April, and I thought it might come in handy. It's the Starlock Airphone Holder. It's literally exactly what it says it is. It's a phone holder that is made to mount to the seat in front of you on an airplane. It was €15.90 plus $4.95 shipping. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's made out of the highest quality materials, but I'm confident it will work just fine on my 2 10-hour flights. The fifth item I ordered is actually a pretty well-known product at this point. These are the loop earplugs, and I ordered them because they're supposed to reduce sound while not completely eliminating it. You can see that there's a hole in the earplug that comes out inside the ring, and that allows a small amount of sound to pass through. So if you go to a concert, you don't completely muffle the music completely. You can also use them in other noisy areas while still being able to hear the person near you. I have a few upcoming concerts I'm going to take them to, but before that, I can at least say they're comfortable, and putting them in while I play music in my office, it seems like they would be good to use at a concert. They have a wide variety of different earplugs, but the ones I got were €29.95 plus $4.95 shipping. The next item I purchased is a mini wireless video camera. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you that this is not the same camera that is shown in the ad. The camera in the ad is tiny, about the size of your pinky nail. This camera is much bigger than the one in the ad. It came with a micro SD card and a little mount. You have to download an app, and of course, the QR code to do that didn't work. So after finding the app on my own and getting everything set up, I couldn't get the camera to work. You basically control the camera with your phone over Wi-Fi, and it would connect, and I could see video on my phone, but only for about 5 seconds. Then it would say it couldn't connect. The quality of the video on the phone looked awful, but I was never actually able to record anything as the connection wouldn't last long enough. It is quite literally a piece of garbage. The funny thing is, after throwing the camera, I opened it up and this little lens inside the housing is actually closer to the size of what they show in the video. This was $25.99 American with $5.99 shipping, and it was not worth it. I kept seeing this ad over and over again, and finally my curiosity got the better of me and I pulled the trigger. For only $19.90 American plus $8.99 shipping, I was able to buy a USB endoscope that I could plug into my phone and then look inside all kinds of things like walls, pipes, my nose. The possibilities were endless. But it turns out they aren't, because I can't get it to work. As soon as I plug it into my phone, I get a message that says it uses too much power. Even if I plug it into my computer, I'd get a similar message. Plugging it directly into a USB port for power is the only way I can get the light to come on, but then there's nothing to record to, so it seems safe to say that this item is not worth it. The next item I got I was actually really curious about. It's a mini retro game emulator, and I'm actually a big fan of retro games played on an emulator. I actually have multiple emulators and have had a handheld portable emulator for years. I see ads for them all the time, and you can get a decent handheld emulator pretty inexpensively, so my curiosity was definitely piqued here. I was also curious as to why they're wearing latex gloves in the video while handling the game console. Seemed weird, but I clicked the link anyway. It took me to this website that offered what was labeled Mini Retro 500 Plus Games. Catchy. Now, this item is not the same thing as what was in the ad, which was a completely different device and said it had 15,000 plus games. though the sales page, despite the product literally having 500 plus games in the title, still claimed it had 15,000 plus games. Now thoroughly confused, I purchased the item for €29.95 plus free shipping, and this is what I got. It's the item shown on the sales page, which isn't surprising because it's clearly the cheaper of the two devices. It's very light and hollow feeling, and when I turned it on, I was surprised that it even came on. It starts with a screen where you pick between Chinese or English language, and then it goes straight to a screen where you pick from 500 games. Except there aren't really 500 games. It looks like the game list has some more popular games first, I use the term popular loosely, including Angry Birds. Oh wait, it's Angry Bird. There's just the one Angry Bird, I guess. After the popular games, which also includes Super Mario Bros. 6, 9, and 10, the games start going in alphabetical order for the most part. When you get to the 180th game, Zippy Race, the list of games just starts repeating itself. Game number 340 is Zippy Race again, and then again the list starts over. So there are not 500 plus games. I don't know why they put the plus in the title, since there are exactly 500 games listed in the device. They didn't even bother putting in a 501st game in the list to make their 500 plus game title at least somewhat accurate. Then the games that are on the device are mostly unknown or weird knockoffs, like the aforementioned Angry Bird, or this weird Super Mario Bros. 10 where Mario is kicking and punching his way through a land of waterfalls. I just can't get enough of this. There are some real games like Contra, but overall this is not worth the $30. It's not even close to what the Instagram ad showed, and then it still isn't what the sales page claimed. Item number 9 I ordered just because it seemed fun and silly. It's a little fan that has LED lights on one of the blades, and as it spins, it displays the time. In the package, it looked like one of the blades was bent, and I assumed it wouldn't work properly, but it turns out the blades are more of a soft silicone than a hard plastic, so the blade relaxed back into its proper shape. I plugged it into a USB port and clicked the button, and it came right on. To set the time, you hold the power button down and the clock hands spin to get to the right time. Then when you're close, you push the button individually to move the hands forward a minute at a time until it's set. It has since kept the correct time whether it's on or off, plugged in or unplugged. I put it in my bedroom because I like to have a light fan on me at night, but the fan is a little too loud and the clock is quite bright. Overall, I'm happier with this item than I expected. It's simple and fun. The one negative I did notice is that the fan in the ad also displays the temperature, which the one I got does not. The amount of LED lights on the fan in the ad is clearly more than the one I got. All in all, for $15.99 American plus $6.99 shipping, it's something that might be fun for a kid. The blades are soft, so you can touch it while it's spinning and it won't injure you. The last product is another item I was excited to try. These are TWS Bluetooth Bone headphones. I've been thinking about getting a pair of bone conduction headphones which use vibration directly onto the bones near your ear to create sound instead of a speaker. Now, the first problem is that the headphones in the ad itself are not bone conduction headphones. They're just Bluetooth headphones. You can see in the ad that there's a small speaker on the headphones, and bone conduction headphones don't use any speaker. Also, the way she's wearing the headphones is not how you would wear bone conduction headphones. She has them entirely over her ear, and bone conduction headphones actually sit right above your ear. Traditional headphones use a speaker to send sound waves into your ear to vibrate your eardrum. Your eardrum sends that signal to your cochlea, which interprets it into sound in your brain. This is a very basic understanding of how it works. I'm not an ear specialist, but this is the basic idea. The bone conduction headphones touch your head at a spot right above your ear because that's where the bone sends the vibrations directly to the cochlea, bypassing the eardrum, making sound waves unnecessary. Of course, I wasn't as knowledgeable about how the headphones worked when I saw the ad, so I made the purchase, only €19.99 plus $4.99 shipping. When I go out, it's nice to be able to listen to music while also being able to hear what's going on around me, especially while riding a bike. I like to be able to hear if there are cars around me because I prefer not to be hit by cars when I'm riding a bike. I'm crazy like that. The headphones come in a case that has a display to show how much charge the headphones have. They feel like they're of decent quality. The case feels substantial, not heavy but well built. Of course, just like the ads, they are not bone conduction headphones. They have little speakers that go over your ears, so basically you're getting what's shown in the ad, just what's shown in the ad is not what the ad is claiming it is. That said, they aren't a terrible product as far as Bluetooth headphones go. I mean, for $25 you could definitely get worse headphones. They do kind of do what I need, as the headphones don't completely cover or plug your ear, so you can still hear what's going on around you when you wear them. They're light and don't hurt my ears at all. I can shake my head and they don't feel like they're about to fall off. The sound quality is a little tinny, but not terrible for $25 headphones. Despite not getting the exact product I thought I was getting, I don't feel like I wasted my money. I'll definitely use them while I ride my bike. So there it is, 10 gadgets from Instagram ads for under $40. For the most part. I know some things were in American dollars and some were in euros, but they're all at least close. I would say that most gadgets you see advertised on social media at this price point will likely be an outright scam or a cheap knockoff, so be wary. If you come across any social media ads that you find funny that you might like to see me react to, or an ad for something you want me to review, you can leave links in the comments or tag me on Instagram at Giles with a J. It doesn't have to be under $40. I've been making a list of some of the items I've seen that are more than $40 for a future episode. I've also saved a few ads that I simply find hilarious that I'm gonna react to soon, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for coming to my channel. If you guys have any questions about me personally, leave them in the comments. If you like these videos, hit subscribe and you can continue on this journey with me. Thanks so much, and be safe.